Hello everyone. It's hard to believe that I have not made a video on Formula 44 Bhagavad Gita Shloka so far in this year. So let me set the house in order. Let me begin with a very prominent verse. What I plan to do is to talk about the favorite verses in Bhagavad Gita for everyone. For example, the verse about food should be very much liked by most. So my first favorite shlok is going to be verse number 14 from chapter 15. Ahaṁ vaiśhvānaro bhūtvā prāṇināṁ deham āśhritaḥ prāṇāpāna-samāyuktaḥ pachāmy annaṁ chatur-vidham. This is a verse from the chapter called Purushottam Yoga, chapter 15, where Lord compares the material world with the example of an inverted banyan tree. He describes how we are connected to the divine and how we are entangled in the material existence. Why we say we are entangled in the material existence is because of the fact that the material world is so unpredictable. It is so difficult to fathom, difficult to manage, and most importantly, we face birth, death, old age, and disease. This is a cardinal fact that everyone who is born has to suffer the old age, the disease, and death. So, what is the mystery? Is it just one life everyone has? Or, since we believe in the existence of the soul, what happens to the soul? Does it take up another body, which many believe? Or everything is over, like they say in some religion? So, since we are talking about the philosophies based on Bhagavad Gita, the starting point is that the soul is a reality, and intuitively we know that because we often talk about it in that manner. That look at this person, he is lying on the floor, but he is dead. He is not person XYZ. That person has already left. This is his body. So clearly we are distinguishing between the body and the soul. If we have understood that, the mysticism has already begun. Why are we then in doubt that the soul is very much a reality? Because once we have understood there is this soul which is keeping our body alive, which is keeping us conscious, we need to learn about the soul. We need to work for the soul, because that is our true identity. Because body, as the Holy Bible say, was mud and it will become mud. The same statement is repeated in all scriptures. So the importance of the soul cannot be neglected. Having understood that we all have a soul, we are the soul, the body is the one which belongs to the soul. The body is very important because that's the vehicle which will help us to attain our goal. So what is our goal? Our goal is to overcome the challenges which the material world brings in our life. The suffering, the difficulties, the old age, the death, the diseases. So the verse that we have selected today, 15:14, is about the statement of Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, where he says that I am the fire of digestion in your stomach. A very drastic statement that God is saying, I am the fire of digestion, vaiśhvānaro, and I am the one who helps you to digest the 4 kinds of food that you eat. What are the 4 kinds of food? The 4 kinds of food are choshya, lehya, peya, bhakshya. These are the only types of food which are available to us. The food which we can chew, we can masticate and swallow is called bhakshya. Like we eat the rice and the lentil and the bread, etc., the chapatis. That is category 1. The second category is the one which cannot be chewed or masticated. It has to be swallowed, drunk, and that is the liquid, the milk that we drink, the water that we drink. That comes in the category of peya. The third category is choshya. There are certain types of food which can only be sucked. There is no other way to eat them. Sugarcane stick comes into that category. You can only suck the juice of the sugarcane stick. And the fourth category is the one which can only be consumed by licking, that is honey. Honey we cannot eat in any other way. It has to be licked. So these are the 4 types of food which the Lord describes, and the Lord says, I am the one who makes you to digest these 4 types of food. So I provide the fire of digestion. This is the Brahma form of God. We all say that God is present in every atom of this universe. So here he is talking about his presence within our body as the fire of digestion. And also he talks about the 4 types of prāṇ, 4 types of life air, 5 types of life air. Panch prāṇ, prāṇāpāna-samāyuktaḥ, vyan saman. These are the 5 types of life air which are sustaining our life. If the prāṇ, the life air, the chi is out, we are dead. This prāṇ cannot be understood so easily. It is an element which is subtler than the oxygen. We do pranayam, the exercises by which we regulate our life air. That prāṇ we are talking about. These 5 types of prāṇ have different functions. Some are flowing in the entire body, nourishing them. Some are rising upwards, some are going downwards. Some take care of certain limbs of the body, some take care of different limbs. It is a science in itself. These are the 5 prāṇas which are regulating the functions of our body. And if they are not in order, we suffer disease. The prāṇāmaya kosh gets disturbed. When the prāṇāmaya kosh gets disturbed, the annamaya kosh, the food sheath of the body gets disturbed. So that's another science, the panchakosh, starting with anandamaya kosh, vijnanamaya kosh, prāṇāmaya kosh, manomaya kosh, and annamaya kosh. But here we are talking about the 5 prāṇas. Actually, there are another 5 upaprāṇas which are Krikar, Kurma, Devadatt, Dhananjay, Nag. Some are the ones some are taking care of our different actions, like sneezing, like belching. These are taken care of by these 5 upaprana. So 5 pranas, 5 upranas, then the fire of digestion. This is a magic that the Lord is creating in each one of us, even though most of us may be completely oblivious about it. So the food that we eat, we have masticated in our mouth. The saliva has already started digesting the food in our mouth. It travels through the esophagus, the alimentary canal, the food pipe into the stomach. And medically we know that there is a gallbladder, there is a pancreas, there is a liver. These secrete different enzymes to digest the food, which is very true. But what about the spiritual, the invisible part? Ayurveda says the food gets converted into rasa, juice, then into rakta, blood, then into bone marrow, majja, then into muscles, meda, then into asthi, bones, then into shukra, the semen. The 7 dhatus are created. 1/3 of the food is converted into our mind, another 1/3 is excreted, and this 1/3 gets processed into this rasa, rakta, meda, majja, shukra, etc. So how can we deny the presence of the divine in our life? How the body got constructed in the mother's womb? How should we say that there is no magic behind all this, there is no mysticism? Even if we are shy of admitting that there is a God, can we not see the power which made the body? Such a complex body with different systems, blood circulation system, the respiratory system, the digestive system, the skeletal system, the muscular system. All these have been built automatically. And we say that there is no external power. And this is so clearly described in Bhagavad Gita. The Lord is describing each and every element. Here he is talking about ahaṁ vaiśhvānaro bhūtvā prāṇināṁ deham āśhritaḥ prāṇāpāna-samāyuktaḥ pachāmy annaṁ chatur-vidham. So I am the fire of digestion which digests the 4 kinds of food that you eat by the mixing of the incoming air and the outgoing air, and that is the prāṇ he is talking about. So this entire process of eating the grains is so fascinating, which is also covered in Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad talks about annaṁ. Annaṁ brahmeti vyajanat annādhaiva khalvimani bhūtāni jayante annena jatani jivanti anna prayanta visham vishanti. When sage Varun's son Bhrigu asked the question, "Oh my father, please tell me, who is God?" The term that he uses is Brahma. What is Brahma? And the father says, "My son, you can realize God through some agencies like the grains, the eyes, the ears, the prāṇ, the mind, man." He gives some hints, but tells him, "You go and find it out." He doesn't give the direct answer. He wants his son to do the required study and the austerities and then get to know about God. So he gives the clues and he says, "Yato va imani bhūtāni jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanta visham vishanti tad brahma." He says, by which we are born, by which we are sustained, and by which and in which we go is Brahma. God is one who creates us. We are born from God. And by God we are sustained, and in God we go finally. So, go and find it out. So, the son comes after research, and then he says, Father, I found out we are born from grain. He says, God is anna, God is grain. Why? Because we are born from the grain, we are sustained by the grain, and in grain we ultimately go. Now this is so true. Why? Because how does the birth take place? The father has eaten the grain, the food which comes out from the earth, from the mud, from the earth. Potato, tomato, cauliflower, rice, wheat, different plants and vegetables and grains, they all come from the earth. Father eats that food, and by the union of father with the mother, the child is born. So it is completely right to say that we were born from the grain, and by the grain we were sustained, because we started consuming the food which the mother was eating through the umbilical cord, and after birth we had mother's milk. Mother is eating the food and she is producing the milk, and after we grow older we start eating the solid grains, and when we are fully grown we are eating all kinds of food. So by food we were born, by food we are sustained, and how we go into the food, that also he explained. Bhriguji explained to his father Varun that when a person is dead, he will be cremated. Either he will be buried or he will be burnt. In either case, the body becomes mud, earth. It goes into the earth, and the same earth becomes the food. As I said, potato, tomato, cauliflower, wheat, rice, etc. So the answer was correct, but the answer was not complete. So his father Varun said, please research some more and come back. So he went on and researched, and finally when he comes back and says that God is bliss, that was the correct answer, because that is the full definition of God. But we'll not go into a complete analysis of this conversation from Taittiriya Upanishad. I am only saying this in the context of my favorite Shloka 15:14, in which we are learning about the pran, and we are learning about the vaiśhvānaro, the fire of digestion. So it is so fascinating, and that is where Formula 44 comes into the picture. Many find Formula 44 to be so simple. People laugh at it. What is it you are promoting? Well, I'm just promoting it for myself because it has helped me a lot. Just to begin my day with meditation, with water therapy, hot water consumption, breathing techniques, prāṇāṁ, Surya Namaskar, the sun salutation. It is changing my life, because to do all these in the wee hours of the day is so salubrious, is so beneficial to the body and mind and the soul. So it may sound simple, but we can always get into the details, like we are going into the details about the life air. To push aside Formula 44, oh, it is so simple, that is one approach. Another approach is that learn more about pran, like these 5 different pran: prāṇāpāna, udāna, vyāna, samāna, and kurma, krika, nag, Dhananjay and Devadatt. The actions of belching, sneezing, etc. we can learn very well from these concepts. So everything is so well connected to the divine knowledge, which we keep denying. No. Who has seen God? How do you know that there is God? And every scripture is telling we have to go to God. Otherwise we cannot understand and resolve the mystery of life. And we cannot, most importantly, become happy in our times, or for that matter in any times. The level of stress, the level of hard work beyond one's limit is a very big concern for everyone. We are having the resources, but then we are not able to enjoy because we are not in tune with the divine. In our rush to make things happen in our own whimsical way, we are creating such a ruckus. My experiment with divinity is to address this issue, and that is how we have brought Formula 44 into the lives of those who are implementing it. To conclude, I just wish to say that let us not deny the presence of God, the three forms of God: Brahma, the invisible form in which God is present in every atom of the universe; Paramatma, the form in which God resides in our heart; and the Supreme Personality, when God comes as Ram, as Krishna, as Buddha, different personalities. Right? How to deny all these? Why not embrace them, learn through a bona fide teacher, and see the results for ourselves? The chapter 15 is so special. In a space of 4-5 shlokas, it has touched upon all the three forms. For example, 15:13, Gama vishya cha bhutani dharyami ahaṁ ojasa pushnami chausadi sarva somo bhūtvā rasātmakah. 15:14, ahaṁ vaiśhvānaro bhūtvā prāṇināṁ deham āśhritaḥ prāṇāpāna-samāyuktaḥ pachāmy annaṁ chatur-vidham. 15:15, sarvasya chahaṁ hridhi sannivisto matta smritir gyan apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahmeva vedyo vedant kridved videva chahaṁ. 15:18, akṣarādapi chottamah yo uttamah purusastvanyah tasmat aksharam titoham akṣarādapi chottamah. This is about the Supreme Personality. So 18:18 talks about God in the personal form. 15:18 talks about God in the personal form, the Supreme Personality. Like Krishna, who is addressing Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, is God. And 15:15 he is talking about the Paramatma form. 15:16 he is talking about the Paramatma form. 15:17 also. And the previous two verses, 15:13 and 15:14, he is talking about the Brahma form. So much to take from this video about food, about digestion, about prāṇ, about God being present in three forms, how it is the interactions are taking place between the soul and God, between our body and the cosmos, is a fascinating subject. We can go on and on discussing about this shlok 15, 14, but let us take a pause here. Let us understand the various aspects of food and how we should regulate our habits. The simple formula which we are learning: finish your food between the sunrise and the sunset. Have fruits, have nutritious organic food, consume water in the morning, hot water slowly, and so many other tips. Have a handful of nuts, etc. With the exercises, walking, pranayam, breathing techniques will definitely be very magical experiments in our life. Thank you all very much. Let's begin this series of my favorite shlok. Those of you who are in touch with me can send their favorite shlokas, which we will try to cover in this series. Take care. See you again.